Welcome to the NAACP Roy Wilkins Mid-Manhattan Branch General Membership Meeting. Tonight, we continue to plan for the One Nation Working Together 10-10 March to Washington, D.C. Invited labor leaders and presenters from the One Nation Campaign Steering Committee will give an overview of the 10-10 March, and Ms. Karen Blanding, Second Vice President of the NAACP New York State Conference, will grace us. We come to you from the Harlem State Office Building on September 15, 2010.
Welcome to the General Membership Meeting for the NAACP in Manhattan Branch. We had a long day yesterday, but I'm glad to see all of you here today. We're going to start the meeting with a meditation of sound and prayer, and thanking the Lord for a truly wonderful and blessed day yesterday and today. Thank you. My report's going to be very brief. The object of this meeting tonight is to talk about the 10-10 mobilization, which is the March on Washington, D.C. This is truly going to be the biggest and most historic thing that you will ever have participated in a very long time. Some of you may have been involved with marches before, maybe in 1963, and all the marches during the Civil Rights Movement in the 70s, but no one has been in a march that is being planned today of this enormous size. This march will include people from, talking about immigration rights, talking about anti-war, peace, veterans, unemployment, education, youth. They put a steering committee that tackles probably every major issue, domestic and progressive issue, that is affecting this country, that our president has been struggling to attempt to move forward because of some negative energy and forces that won't let him do that. So this march is intended to help the president and also to put pressure on the Congress to approve and legislate the things that we all voted for when we voted for change. Yesterday I played the role of checking the machines and the polling sites to make sure that all the machines got there, that the inspectors and poll workers knew how to operate them, that the people were not going to be delayed in casting their votes. It actually moved seniors, and because a lot of polling sites changed to accommodate the machines and the private marking ballot devices the private stations that were set up. For example, my voting place is Harlem Canaan House, where we have a little community room. But my community room was not 500 square feet plus, so it could not accommodate the machines and also the staff, because for each ED, the Board of Elections assigned 12 people to cover each D. So if you had 4 EDs or 4 machines, times that by 12. So when you came into a polling site yesterday, you may have seen a lot of people, long tables, and you thought they were voting. No, they were working. And that's caused a lot of confusion. We had a situation at Carver Houses, which their machine, 26 ED, was moved to PS 72. And a tenant leader by the name of Alberta Slappy, who sort of runs that operation for years, was very distraught. So we helped move the seniors to PS 72. But when they got there was no machine. The whole kit wasn't there. So there was no book, there was no machine. And the poll workers didn't know what to do. So some of them started giving them the emergency ballots to figure out. Now Carver Houses is split into 2 divisions. North of 102nd Street is in the 15th Congressional District. South of 102nd Street is in the 14th Congressional District. So it was one person who wanted to vote in the 15th was given the ballot for the 14th. And when he mentioned that a person wasn't on that ballot that he wanted to vote for, the poll worker who was by the machine itself, helping watch the scanning, said, "Write in." So when he wrote in that person's name and he put his sheet through the scanner, he lost his vote because he doesn't live in the 14th Congressional District. So I had to get him down to the judge, Justice Tingley, who was in this room that we're in today, to do an injunction in court order to allow him to vote again. I'm not sure that happened because he said I need to pick up my grandchildren. I'm babysitting, I don't have time. And he spent about 2 hours in the polling location trying to get his vote across, voted wrong, and then trying to get him back to come to this building and then go back to PS 72. And I'm sure there was a lot of situations like that. And I know that President Dukes and represented by Karen Blandy, our second vice president, who just walked in, is looking at possibility of lawsuits moving forward. The mayor made a big statement about how messed up the process was, even though he didn't vote because he's an independent. He votes in November. But you can't have your cake and eat it too when you cut the Board of Elections budget from this size budget to this. And that's what he did. And then he tries to blame the same Board of Elections for not being able to operate in the way they supposedly operated yesterday with the new machines. Now, whose fault is that? And that's something that we're looking at. And we were very upset about him having a press conference and saying how messed up poll workers were. They didn't know what they were doing. And these are our people he's talking about. These are our people who were struggling to learn the process that was brand new, that just got started, and one of the big elections, particularly in this particular area, that was going to happen. So we're not happy about the mayor's comments about that, but we'll deal with that moving forward. So that's sort of my report, but it also gives us an idea of what the work that we're going to have to do in November 2nd. Because you're not only going to be getting people out to vote in massive numbers, we're going to have to make sure that our poll workers know how to use the machines, know how to teach people how to use the machines, know how to have patience with the voters coming in so they don't make the wrong decision, they don't get nervous, and they mess up their ballots 3 times and they lose their vote. Or they just get frustrated and walk out and start cursing. A lot of the poll workers were sitting at the table saying, this is disorganized, this is confusing. Now, if you're standing online as a voter, and the whole staff table is just talking amongst each other, talking about how confusing this is, what are you going to do? You're going to be confused, and you're going to walk out. And that's what happened. So I don't know how many votes were lost yesterday, and you look at the turnouts, particularly in the 68th Assembly District, I think there were maybe less than 7,000 people voted. And that means a lot of people may have not bothered, or they just walked away out of the poll. So those are some of the things. I spent 3 hours at that polling location trying to correct the situation, and the machine never showed up. This is from 5:30 in the morning to 3:30. They still didn't have a machine, and they didn't have one. So I don't know how many votes were lost there, but I know it was quite a few, and that's one of the highest prime voter EDs was that 26 ED in the 68. So, but on the other side, and particularly higher middle class neighborhoods, everything went well, okay? And all the machines got there. Particularly in the 72nd Assembly District, they had 0 problems, and all the machines were there. So that ends my report, and I will turn it over to Claire for the Treasurer's report.
Good afternoon, all. The Treasurer's report. Okay, Treasurer's report as of August 30th is $25,284. That's because of the luncheon monies that were coming in, and the tickets, and also the bus monies, and also our journal ads. We also have more monies coming in for the luncheon, which occurred on September 11th, but and also checks going out. So I'll give you a more up-to-date balance with regards to the financial status at the next executive meeting, at the next general membership meeting. Thank you.
Hearing the Treasury report, does anybody have any questions? Do I have a motion to move the treasury report, Joan.
Motion to.
And a second, state your name, loud. Alice Miller. Moved by Joan Mendez, second by Alice Miller. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, any abstentions? Treasury report's been moved and voted. Now we go to committees. I will start with the Civic Engagement Committee and ask Gloria Aldamoy to come forward very quickly and give her report.
My report will be with the, I also did the polls yesterday at 5:30. And we only had one machine breakdown. And all I can think of was the good job that the senator did, when we came here, and he taught us how to use the machine. And Perkins, it was, thank God he did that, because a lot of people wouldn't have even gotten to know how to use the machine. I've been away for a while, so I haven't been as active as would have liked to have been. But I'm back and ready to roll, as Obama would say, all fired up and ready to go, because we have a lot of work to do between now and November. And we'll probably reach out for you guys to help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll hear from Gene West. Some good news to tell us about the fundraising committee.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'd just like to say we had a wonderful luncheon on Saturday, September 11th, at Marina Del Rey.
Yeah.
And I'd like my fundraising committee to please stand. Marion, Edith, Rain, Gloria, Marty, and of course, I was the co-chair and Claire was the other co-chair. Kendall is not here. And Rutha Miller. Thank you. You did a wonderful job. The luncheon was very well attended. Congressman Rangel was there, Basil Patterson, Scott Stringer, Ms. Quinn. We had a wonderful luncheon. The honorees were great, and they were very, very happy. The room was beautiful, the food was good, and quite a few of you in this room attended. And I know you had a wonderful time. So those of you who didn't make it, I look forward to seeing you there next year to help us with our tickets, our journal, where we can have another wonderful year. And this was a first for Jeff, his first time being president. He was in charge, so let's give him a hand. We also had a wonderful MC, DeMarco Morgan from Channel 4. And it was just a wonderful event. So, like I said again, those of you who were there, I hope you had a wonderful time. And the others, I hope to see you next year.
Thank you, Gene West. Ms. Dottie Seals, Dr. Seals, will you join us for the membership meeting?
For those of you who were not at the last meeting, I made the announcement that we made the second greatest increase in numbers of members this past year. Now, we have the convention coming up next month. And at the convention, I would like for Al to bring back the plaque for the #1. But we need your help. First, I want to thank you for getting us to #2. Now, if you keep up the work like you've done before, we will be #1. The only thing, when you think of the number of members we have, if each member, just if each of you who is here tonight will get one member this month, we can do it. When you think of how many members of 500 or 600, suppose every member brought in one person every year, you realize how much increase we would have each year. So I'm asking everybody to work hard. I want to see that we're sitting right up in front of the president for every meeting we have, and we'll bring it so everybody can see what we are doing. So we've had an increase since last month. I don't know exactly, but I know some of the applications were given to me, so I know we've had an increase. And I'm asking you, pardon me, to please help us increase membership this month.
And you need some water, Connie. I'm going to, just to reiterate what Dr. Seals said, the membership committee, the membership is the lifeblood of this organization, this association. Without membership, we don't have the strong numbers to lobby Washington and our state legislation on the issues of our communities. So I'm asking you all, I paid my life membership. I'm a fully paid life member. This year is the 100th anniversary of life membership, and I wanted to have my membership in for the 100 years. So, if you want to get part of, if you want to do something very courageous and fun, and get your plaque on the same year of the anniversary of the 100 years of life membership, you should pay it now, because that's history that you can hold for the rest of your life and pass on to your children who will be future NAACPers. So I hope that you take advantage of fulfilling your life memberships before December 31st, because there'll be, next year will be the 101 anniversary of life membership. Thank you. I'll ask Beverly Wheeler to give the legal redress report, if she will.
Good evening, everyone. Our legal redress will meet next Wednesday, September the 22nd, I think it is, at 6:30 p.m. We don't have a speaker next week, but the committee will be working on for next year's agenda, and one of the projects that I'm working on now is for next year for the criminal justice forum that we always have in April, but this time, instead of we doing the regular officers, we're going to do women, women of color in the different law enforcement fields. So the other law enforcement officers will come back, but we're going to continue this as the second part of it. And for January of next year, I have kind of put in a proposal, you know, basically if we can get the James Byrd family to come up for Martin Luther King holiday to speak about hate crimes and basically, you know, what it is that, you know, people can get along with one another and things that is happening between the minorities out here. If that budget is approved, hopefully that we can have the James Byrd family to come out and speak. Also, we partnership with Watley High School. I don't know if the education committee is here. Okay, Harry Forson is not here. But we partnership with the kids. And what we did last year with the law enforcement forum, we want the kids to come back to do the same thing, to do the introduction of the law enforcement, so to give them some type of credibility. And also, we're trying to get some monies from the outside so we can kind of do like a little small scholarship, you know, to give to the kids, if it's possible. I'm working on it, but it's not, you know, nothing is done right now. So hopefully, you know, next week when we have our committee meeting, we'll have an agenda and we'll report it for October's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll ask Mr. Leslie White to give the report of the Veterans Committee. I see one of my veterans just came in for the American Legion.
Good evening. I would like to report on for Mrs. Docias Davis, who's not here. She's working with the 119th Street Veterans Action Group, and they are planning some activities around Veterans Day event. Now, she is open for suggestions for Veterans Day activities, so if you could voice your suggestions to me at the end of the meeting, I'll be here. As well as she also would like to acknowledge those who are veterans here who would like to be a part of the committee. Are there veterans here? Thank you. And you give me your name. Thank you. Give me your name after the meeting. Now, one of the most important things to veterans is that, as you know, the veterans are coming home from the Iraq War, and one of the major emphasis of them coming home is homelessness, trying to get them housing and employment, and as well as getting some medical care, because many of them have been traumatized from being in the service. So I have suggested to the committee that in terms of housing, that we reach out to the New York City, the Mayor's Office of Veterans Affairs, which has inroads with the HPD and other housing groups to look at what is available for veterans. Not only that, but also what's available through Human Resources Administration and other agencies that can offer assistance. That completes my report.
Great, thank you.
Leslie, let me just add that on October 19th, Congressman Rangel has asked me to involve the NAACP with the Feed the Children. They're coming back to the Congressional District on October 19th, and one of the things that we want to do is provide food and health products to military families, as well as the community as a whole. And I'd like to have our NAACP members sign up to be volunteers, wear your hats and your shirts. I know it's going to be a little cold, but I feel we have some jackets that our treasurer has put away for our very active volunteers. You're going to get a jacket. So that's an event that we're going to be planning. You call me in the office tomorrow, we'll nail that down, and it'll be at the 369th Armory at that location. I will ask Janelle Lattimore to give the youth report, our new elected co-advisor. Janelle?
Okay. There's a workshop sponsored by Target. There's going to be a spoken word on Saturday, and it's the first part of the program. There'll be a workshop tomorrow, and then a spoken word event at Starbucks and Astor Place on Saturday. Astor Place. The workshop is at the NAACP branch.
That's the NAACP today. That's been Manhattan. And they're excited, they're fired up, they're ready to go. So, moving along, I think that does our reports. Harriet is here. Harriet's here? Harriet. Oh, I didn't see you. I'm sorry, Harriet. Harriet, please come forward. Miss Harriet Forsman, Chair of the Education Committee, who's been doing a fantastic job. She has something to report.
I have to apologize for being late, but the buses are all tied up, so I stood on the bus line for an hour. We are excited about our coming year with the education program. We're going to be working with the youth and setting up a program for the year. You know, our adopted school is Watley High School, and those kids have been very responsive. Some of them went off to college this year. They graduated. We were at their graduation, which was fantastic. Soledad was the guest speaker, and one of the students who is now president of the Youth Council received our NAACP Scholarship Award. We also participated with the youth program at the Back to School, which turned out to be marvelous outside on the plaza. And so we had a lot of people who just walked in, who were in the street and came. And those kids from Watley performed. It was really wonderful. So we're looking forward to a big year. And like he said, some of them were at the luncheon on Saturday. And some of them will be going down to Washington on October 2nd. Okay.
Wonderful report. I'm going to ask our New York State Vice Chair, Miss Karen Blanding, to come up and give us an update before I give her another report. And she has something else to report too. Miss Karen Blanding, give her a round of applause. She is working hard. She knows this is our meeting. This is her favorite branch.
No, I'm sorry. On behalf of Ms. Duke, she wanted to thank everybody. As you know, she was out till 1 o'clock tomorrow, and she has to be in Baltimore today. We just want to give you an update on the 10-2-10. All our branches almost all the branches have buses. Mid-Manhattan has 1 and 2. The state conference, we will not have a bus. We will be putting the people on the Mid-Manhattan bus with so much. She wants to remind everybody that if you go in there, you must have a Metro card. That, like Jeff said, you saw what happened with the computers yesterday. Imagine all of us trying to get Metro cards down there. And she also wants to remind everybody that, as Jeff brought up earlier, that the problem that's going to happen in November, that she expects every branch to be trained, every branch to be out there, and we want to go into what they call election protection mode. in which we have spot people at every branch, and when a problem comes, they will be calling it into the state and along there, and we will be calling down the national and the 1-866, our vote, to ensure the votes get there. And we don't want to forget that October 8th to 10th, we'll be having our 74th convention in Rochester, and we hope to see all of you there. And I also want to congratulate Mid-Manhattan Youth Council for such a great job they are doing. And the youth, I want y'all to know Samora and the rest of Mid-Manhattan Youth Council, the program they put it through in 3 days, and they have really, really been on fire. And I believe a lot of them they're gonna really take this stuff. So I can't say it's my favorite brand because I have to be partial, but I am very pleased always to be here, and I continue to be.
She is working very hard. She's not a branch she has not been to. She runs around this state faster than anybody I know, and she gets the word out, and she's very serious. So let's make her proud. Let's get our memberships up so we can bring down a big laydown and win that award for Dr. Seals. And let's inspire our youth to continue the good work they're doing. Please don't hesitate to drop in on them tomorrow. Show your support. They want to present to you always. And from here on out, I'm going to make sure our youth is a part of our adult general membership meeting. Everything we do together. I'm going to ask, now we have some new business to take here, which is sort of old business. So I'm just going to read it because I think it's important that you understand our Constitution that we have to follow. The nominating committee is elected at the September general membership meeting of the branch. Is composed of not less than 5, not more than 15 members of the branch in good standing, provided that not more than 2 shall be officers of the branch or members of the executive committee. Duties. The first meeting of the nominating committee shall be held no later than 10 days after its election, which will happen tonight. The nominating committee selects its chairperson and secretary as its first order of business. So when you meet as a committee, you will elect a chair and you will elect a secretary. Nominate any member of the branch who is in good standing. Member in good standing shall mean that the person must be a bona fide member of the branch by April 1st of this year and must live and or work within the branch's jurisdiction. The nominating committee may nominate a member thereof as a candidate for office or as a large member of the executive committee. The nominating committee shall have itself available to interview members interested in being considered for office or as at-large members of the executive committee. The nominating committee shall nominate only those persons who have given written consent to be nominated. I'll repeat that. The nominating committee shall nominate only those persons who have given written consent to be nominated. The secretary shall verify that each has given written consent only after the nominating committee has given its written report at the October general membership meeting and before the branch accepts this report. A committee shall nominate a member for only one position during the election. Reporting. The nominating committee shall submit a report in writing at the October general membership meeting at the branch. This report shall consist of the names of persons qualified to fill existing branch offices. One name for each office, and to be members of the executive committee, at least 10 names and not to exceed 24 names at any time. Nomination by petition. I will give this to the nominating committee because I want to read the rest of it. But there is also a petition where at the October meeting, you can get nominated from the floor, and all you need is 3 signatures by 3 bona fide members. But the nominating committee will explain that to you at the October meeting. So I'm going to start by making the first nomination, and I'm nominating Sandra Mae Flowers to the nominating committee. Would you accept?
Yes, I accept.
Who's making it? Do we have any nominations?
Yes.
I nominate.
Wait, hold up, Chief. I didn't invite you on the mic.
I nominate.
Wait a minute. Wait till you get to mic.
I'd like to nominate Claire Theobald to this committee.
Okay, I accept.
I'd like to nominate Barbara Howard. Accept.
I'd like to nominate Leslie Weich.
And you accept. Any more nominations?
I nominate Marion Bondurant.
One more nomination, I like to.
I accept.
Yolanda?
I'd like to nominate Wayne Dorsey.
I accept.
I nominate Ben Edwards. I accept.
Okay, I'm going to close the nominations and I ask Yolanda if she will review the names of the nominating committee so far for the record.
Okay, I don't have the name, so I'm going to ask you to please put your hand up.
Would everybody stand up who accepted to be on the nominating
You want to
committee?
record the members?
And then Sandra, give each of them a mic so they can record their names facing the general. Come up for it, actually, and face your general membership.
Barbara Howard. Rain Dorsey.
Marion Bondurant.
Maxine Simmons.
Ben Edwards. Leslie Weich.
Sandra May Flowers.
All in favor? Can I make a motion? You have a question?
There's supposed to be only 2 executive members on the committee, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. So, she's correct. Thank you for correcting. So there's too many executive committee members on the team. So Claire declined. We have
one more.
Okay.
and Rain declines.
Okay, so let's go over the names again. Barbara Howard, Marion Bondurant, Maxine Simmons, Ben Edwards, Leslie White, and Sandra May Flowers. These are the members of the nominating committee.
Do I have a motion to accept the nominating committee? Do I have a motion to accept?
I make a motion.
Do I have a second? State your name, who's second?
Gloria.
Gloria Aldemoy, second the motion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any abstentions? Any abstentions? Any noes? No. The nominating committee has been approved and accepted. Congratulations, you have to make every meeting. You cannot miss a meeting. Yeah, we're going to make copies and distribute the rules to the nominating committee. But if you have questions about other things, the whole entire election piece, we'll make sure that every member gets a copy of this, okay? And do I have any, that was new business, and do I have any announcements? Any announcements? Hearing none, I'm going to move forward that we adjourn the,
I didn't hear the street fair mentioned at all. Did I miss that?
Well, that's a very good point. Thank you so much for reminding us. The street fair is scheduled to take place on October 10th. October 10th, Sunday, October 10th from 11 to 6 p.m. Ms. Blanding?
Don't forget the afternoon day parade. Sunday,
The 19th.
meeting at 12 o'clock at 111th and Adam Plain Power Boulevard. We're asking all NAACPs to be out there. You can walk, youth and everybody. We want it out there with our hats and shirts and T-shirts on. We want to go we want to just walk up there. That's Sunday the 19th at 12 o'clock. We'll be meeting at 111th and Adam Plain Power Boulevard. We'll be meeting on the corner at 12 o'clock, so we'll get organized.
But isn't that conflicting? I thought you said feed the children October 9th.
September 19th is the African American Day Parade. This Sunday coming soon. It's always the first Sunday in September. Is everybody clear? The African American Day Parade is September 19th. We're meeting at 12 o'clock at 111th Street in Adam Clayton Powell in 7th Avenue. You have yellow hats, jackets. It's going to be a beautiful day. And the parade will start on time. It started on time last year. It's been shortened 6 blocks, so you won't be walking that long. So it'll go from 111th Street to I think to 135th or around that point, and that'll be the end of the parade. The mayor cut back all the parade routes for the exception of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which was not cut, but all the other parades were cut. So he's doing you guys a favor. You don't want to walk that long, but the parade will go forward, and we're going to start on time. And it'll be great to have you all in massive fall. We all can use the exercise, by the way, so I know I can. We have another announcement. Governor Patterson will be at St. Mark's Episcopal Church, St. Martin's Episcopal Church, on Sunday, October 3rd. St. Martin's Episcopal Church, Sunday, October 3rd, and that's at 122 Street and Lenox Avenue. That's sort of our home church, by the way. Hazel Luke spoke there last year. That's October. Another announcement that Sandra's given it to me. The first in a series of forums sponsored by Peace Action Manhattan. Congressman Charles Rangel speaks on finding peace and sharing sacrifice. That takes place Monday, next Monday, September 20th at 7:30 p.m. at the Garda Riverside Community Center, located at 593 Columbus Avenue at 88th Street. And this is all about the war and peace and bringing our people home. So it's going to be very fun. And if you want to know more about this information, please speak to Sandra. She's been coordinating that effort.
The nominating committee needs to meet 10 days after this meeting, and they're responsible for making sure that the notices go, the consent forms go to all the members, so that we can have the consent. Everything is back by the October meeting. You can give your report. So it has to be in before the October. You have to set that date. I'm sure, someone will be able to supervise and go over this with you. But those forms have to be sent out to all the members.
Can they?
Yes. Yes.
Can I make
Blanding? Ms. Chair.
They have to meet, the secretary calls a meeting anytime within 10 days. If they decide themselves that they want to start a meeting by signing themselves, as long as they meet that 10 days, they can do that. They don't have to wait for the 10 days.
Thank you for that information.
Mr. Weiss?
Yeah, if I may, I was going to suggest that we just take a few minutes after the meeting just to get together. Please.
That's a great suggestion, Mr. Weiss, and thank you for bringing it up. So right after the meeting is over, please meet and meet with a group and with Sandra and Mr. Weiss, and you guys will have a quick meeting about the duties, responsibility, and nominating committee when you guys want to meet. Ma'am?
Oh, I just thought maybe we could do a playoff with the 10-10 of the street fair and the 10-10 of the march.
Yes, that sounds good. So we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that funky stuff right now. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Can do, and second by, say your name, Marion Bondurant. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any noes? The meeting is now adjourned. I will ask our presenter, Mr. Marvin Bean, to come forward. At this time, Mr. Marvin Bean. Let's give him a round of applause. He was out there yesterday.
Good evening. I'm still a little tired from marching up and down 8th Avenue with Charlie Rangel yesterday. I'm Marvin Bean, Jr. I'm the New York State Director for the One Nation March. We in New York have been organizing this march since February. The rest of the country got their act together about 2 months ago. But we in New York, we've been pretty strong in the forefront. Mama Duke's been leading the charge with George Gresham, who's the president of 1199 at CIU, and Mr. Bill Lynch, whom I work for. That's my home office, Mr. Bill Lynch. Most of you have already been to the New York State Conference, I guess a month ago or so, and you've heard about 10-2-10. But it's really important because if you think it's bad now, come November 2nd, if we don't get out there and pull that lever for our friends, it's really going to get bad. And we were safe in Harlem as of yesterday, but the rest of the country might not be so fortunate to have a community and a congressman that's committed to progressive change for the better of their community. So, I was speaking in St. Louis at A. Philip Randolph a few months ago, and, I walked in the room, and most likely at the time, I'm one of the younger people in the room, and there's not really young people at the table. So I do commend the young lady for the youth council, and I challenge all of you to bring the youth with you to Washington. Reach out and touch somebody, 18, 19, 20, pull them off the street corner and just throw them on the bus. That's what Mama Duke told me to do. But I'm just really here to give you an update. It's late, and I don't want to keep you all. I'm proud to say that right now, counted in New York, we have 80,000 people signed up, ready to go out of New York State. And we still have 60,000 people we got to find buses for. So we have some fundraising calls out there. We have all the major labor unions, Mr. Bill Lynch, making phone calls to get the money we need for more buses. But New York State will have the largest delegation in D.C. on October 2nd. So I'm really here to answer questions if you have. I'll give you updates on the Metro card system, how that's working. There's a form that went out from D.C. and it's going to be emailed to all the chapter presidents for NAACP in New York. It's a form that you have to call, fax it down to D.C. with a credit card number to order your bulk Metro cards. Once we land, and we're parking in RFK Stadium. That's our land location for D.C. Most of the union buses are leaving around 4:35 a.m. The reason being, once we get to RFK and try to take our people from RFK to the Metro system to get to the mall, it's going to be chaos. And again, I said out of New York, we have over 100,000, so imagine what's coming from all across the country. And we're all parking in RFK Stadium. So, I hope that Manhattan leaves a little early. Well, 4:35, but Jeff and Mama Dukes will
work out a time. It should be 3.
All right, so as far as the bus count, we have 1,400 buses paid for around the state. And that's including upstate, who's bringing 90 buses from Albany, Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, Binghamton, Elmira, the Hudson Valley, and the different counties outside of New York City. So it's going to be interesting, nonetheless. But what the day is going to look like, so the program starts at 12 noon. That's when the official program starts. A lot of the labor unions have now, like Jeff said, changes yesterday, said they're going to have pre-10-2-10 rallies the day of, before the actual event starts. So 10 o'clock, SEIU is having their own event. 9:30, AFT is having their own event. So what you're going to see is different subgroups convening their members on the Lincoln Memorial. That's where the actual program will take place, at the Lincoln Memorial, and then it will just push back. So far as speakers that we have, President Jealous, George Gresham, who's president of Lebanon SEIU, Ed Schultz, he has a TV show on MSNBC, Harry Belafonte, Danny Glover, and they're working on a few more celebrities, and some other speakers that represent, environmental, peace, action, anti-war, lesbian and gay, labor, community groups, and clergy. They say T.D. Jakes may be coming to speak and do a rendition with Fred Hammond. That's not confirmed. Well, that's just out there. So again, please stay in touch with your leadership to find out all the new information. I will be sending out the email forward to get you guys Metro cards, and it's up to your leadership to purchase those Metro cards for its members. I don't know how that's working out. Yeah, the Metro cards will be it'll be 2 swipes. One to get on the rail to get to the mall, and one to get back. It's $5 for the Metro card. There will be, whoever's on your bus, you'll have a bus captain. Because what's going to happen is once you get to DC, that bus captain is responsible for the members on that bus. Everyone will have walkie-talkies. It'll be 1,000 tents, radio communications, first aid stations, just so in case someone gets lost, you lose anything. And that bus captain will be responsible for getting you guys back to your bus in a fashionable time. The program ends around 4:30, so you won't be there all day, all night. There is some activities happening afterwards, some social gatherings. I don't know who has hotels, who does not, but in case you want to get a hotel and stay over, there will be some activities to get together, socialize, celebrate a victorious march.
First of all, it will be impossible when you get to D.C. to buy a Metro card, because first come lines up. Ms. Dukes and Mr. Bing and Bill Lynch and the leadership came up with a great idea. Your president has addressed your treasurer to buy the Metro cards in advance. if we get the order in by September 17th as our deadline, we will have our Metro cars. So we're going to buy the Metro cars, which will be about 112, 111 cars in total to fit with the number of people on the bus. You will bring your $5, I'm not sure what the price of the Metro card is, but if it's, I just want to clarify it's $5. So you will bring your $5 with you, and that's going to be your entry on the bus. So you already paid for your seat, but you bring $5 with you, and you give it to the treasurer or your bus captain, so our branch can be reimbursed for the amount of cars that we're paying for. So this was President Duke's idea. I think it's a great idea, and I thank you for you got great leadership here. We're trying to make this as simply and as easy as possible, because it's going to be enough of a chaos. If you think you're not able to handle a long, long, hot day, because the weather's probably going to be hot, and when it's warm in D.C., you're in the South. You're going to have to be patient. We have to work together. We have to be orderly. We have to be on one message. And I want Marvin to talk about some of the messaging.
All right, so the message is really, the Tea Party, the Republican Party, have sort of dominated the media over the course of the last year. And I don't want people to be fooled and thought that we were going to elect President Obama and they were just going to sit down and say thank you. So, let's not be shocked or surprised at what's happening. So this coalition, this organizing, isn't a response to say, we may have had strep throat for a while, but our voice is working now. So we're sending sort of a dual message. One to the administration saying that we got your back, we're still here, we haven't gone nowhere, and a message to the Tea Party saying, we're not going to let you guys divide this country that you have been over the last year. This country has come too far, we have done too much, and we're not going to let Glenn Beck and Karl Rove tear this thing apart. So what we did was, we built a coalition. We brought together, civil rights groups, labor unions, gay and lesbian groups, peace groups, anti-war, youth groups, immigration groups, clergy, you name it, we're all together in this. It's over 200 national groups who have endorsed this, who work hand in hand together, who have weekly meetings. I mean, you talk about some of the people who push the liberal agenda, they're at the table. And they're in partnership with this. So what you're going to see in D.C. is a sea of what America really looks like. Black, Latino, Asian, black, white, orange, you name it. You won't see it October 2nd. And that's what this country is. We've come so far. And we can't go backwards. We can't afford to go backwards. It's for the young people. I mean, this is the country I'm fighting for my future in. For everybody. But I think I need to fight a little harder. I've got a long way to go. But, this is really important, and we really, really need you to get involved. Some people can't afford to get a ticket on the bus. So we're telling folks, we have a discounted Amtrak system, where if you book an Amtrak ticket, you get $25 off each way. So, we have a deal with Megabus and Voltbus, where we're trying to buy 100 of those buses and give them out for free to community groups that can't afford to buy a bus. Because it can't just be about big labor unions. It can't just be about people with all the money. It got to be about the community, people who fight each and every day to sustain these families. It has to be a bigger coalition. So we're excited. We're excited that NAACP has taken the lead. We're excited that Manhattan was the first chapter to say they had a bus. Back in Morris Jackson, we got a bus. I don't know if we have the people, but we have a bus. So we're thankful, and we look forward to it. And please excuse my temperament. I'm really tired. When I say I was out 3 in the morning, I was out in the morning till 3 in the morning. So please excuse my...
I'm a witness.
Attitude. And just a little bit about me. Last year, I ran the field operations for Cy Vance, the current Manhattan District Attorney, and I did the field operations for John Lew in Northern Manhattan, our city controller. So I'm Harlem's own. I'm one of you guys. I live over there on 122nd Street. They might be kicking me out. They're raising the rent, but we're trying to find something.
That's all buses in New York to be out by 4:30. She wants us to meet at 9 o'clock. That was at our Metro meeting. Mr. Big Nice meeting you. She has forwarded your information with your paper to all the branches already to get email. Like Jeff said, it's very, very important, crucial to stay in touch with them information just went out today to you about t-shirts and stuff, and they cannot wait the 17th. So when you see them and they call them, they need information to get there. Like you said, these things are moving. Our youth councils are all putting their kids on their bus across the state. We got 2 buses in Syracuse. We're asking every adult brand to ensure, Claire and I are on the youth work committee, as you hear that, and Janelle, we're asking everyone to make sure we get those kids on that buses with us. It's very, very important as we're growing. So, like Jeff, I can't say how more important it is to leave your information with them, because you got emails now. I didn't want to get them. It's about T-shirts, Metro, and I want to commend Jeff and Claire, because they're the first chapter that had the bus. They're the first one that jumped on. Everybody else is waiting now. They were at 135th Street. I just hang out with them. They had the buses and stuff like that. So I really want to say y'all got great leadership. They jumped on it. Y'all got 1 bus full, and they're going to the other one. So we all need y'all to jump aboard.
Marvin has a team. He has a team. And then I'm going to have, let you hear what some more our youth council, our co-advisor is doing to get people out. But he has a team. This young man has been everywhere this summer. Where there's people, you see these 2 people. Where there's organizing and fight for struggle, you see these 2 people. They showed up at my boss at our office campaign and said, what do you need us to do? We're ready to rock and roll. These youth are doing it. And this young man, he's blowing my mind. So he's going to tell you who he is. You met him before. Yeah. Do your thing, Fitzroy.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Fitzroy Searles. I'm the college and youth organizer for One Nation Working Together. Jeff is right about us being everywhere. I must have seen him at least 50 times in the last 2 months alone. I apologize for the way I look. Unfortunately, organizing in the streets, sometimes you have to adapt, and this is like my 5th meeting for the evening. Okay, with respect to our organizing efforts, at this point we've stopped trying to acquire new groups, and we're starting to follow up and organize those student groups, community-based groups, and so forth. One of the amazing things about it is that the young people are hyped up. They're ready to go. They're like, where have you guys been? Right? It's about time, you know, someone's reaching out to us, trying to get our voice. However, one of the challenges that we're trying to overcome is that a lot of these youth-based organizations are currently struggling financially, so we're trying to figure out a way to get them down to DC for as low cost as possible. So we're going to be reaching out to unions and other individuals, trying to see if they can sponsor buses specifically for the youth. So if anyone in the audience happen to know of any contact that we could try to reach out to see about getting some of the community groups on buses, we'll gladly welcome that information.
I'm going to ask some more on Legros. There's some things that the Youth Council, he's the new elected co-advisor, give him a hand. Go ahead,
good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samor Legros, new youth advisor. Happy to see that you're all out. The youth have been working, and it's been a lot of behind-the-scenes work, but we've been doing our part to make sure that our communities are aware about 10 to 10. First thing, to kick off this weekend, we have a trio of events sponsored by Starbucks. We have the D-Ciphers Migration Workshop, which is taking place from 5 to 8 p.m. tomorrow. It's a written workshop that's going to be supervising children on working and writing and drumming, speaking, and using different forms of the arts to express themselves. Friday, we're going to be having an event at St. John's University, which is for the college portion. And then on Saturday night, mark this on your calendars, we are going to be at 1325 Astor Place, Starbucks, 7 p.m., spoken word event. We will have children from all over the city. We have a talented group of kids from our Mid-Manhattan branch who will be out there representing us. And we are building the momentum up for 10 to 10. So this is something that is going to keep on going until we get on that bus on October 2nd. We are going to be working day in, day out to make sure that we fill up those buses and that we are representing our people, because this is something that is going to affect not only the elderly, but the youth and for generations to come. So we have to be sure that we put our foot down and make sure that we have jobs in place and we have economic development for our communities. So come out and support us. Tomorrow we're going to be at the Mid-Manhattan branch from 5 to 8. What we're trying to do is encourage the youth, and they get encouragement when we turn our heads and take the time to go and speak to them. We are teachers, and we have to realize that as people with more experience, we have a lot to pass on to these children. And they're sponges, ready to soak up whatever information we bring to them. So we have to go out there on a united front and support them throughout this weekend, the following week, the following weekend, and get on that bus. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, 646-228-3547 or SLEGROS123@gmail.com.
NAACP's on the move. Look what we got. Let's keep up the good work. I'm going to ask Marvin to close us with some remarks. And I think we should come together in prayer. And I'm going to ask Karen Blanding, our leader, to lead us in prayer as we close out this meeting. Because God's got to be involved with everything that we do in this branch, especially for 10-2-10. Marvin and then Karen Blanding.
Thank you, and I will see you October 2nd. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Everybody please rise.
Everybody hold hands. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this lovely meeting. We want to thank you for the leadership of the Mid-Manhattan Branch Estate. We want to ask that you guide us and lead us and protect us and build a fence around us as we continue to do the work of civil rights. We all know how important it is, and we also know that 10-2-10 will be a lot of us. So once again, Heavenly Father, thank you for all you have done and all that you will done. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen.